Good evening. Welcome to another episode of the Cantrell Country Travelway Traveling Adventures. Hope everybody is having a great night tonight. Hope everybody's had a good week. Oh, thank goodness I am off for the week. Um, it's one of the best things when you finish and complete your work. Welcome in to all those that are here. Thank you for coming in. Please, if you're ninja watching, thank you for ninja watching. Hope you guys will have a good time. I'm just waiting to see if we have any more people come in and see where we go. Obviously, I had a good day. I'm still working on welcome in, welcome in. Good to see everybody coming in. Thank you for being here. All right. Hopefully, I'll get some people to. Hopefully, we'll get some chat going in the chat here. Welcome in for you guys being here, guys. Hopefully, you guys will be here. But tonight, really sure wasn't what I was going to do tonight. It's been a long week at work. Been working hard trying to get the website put together. I've been in contact with the project manager earlier this week, so I'm waiting for a sample to be designed. So to see what I like, see what changes need to be done, see what the final bill is going to be thing. But we're talking traveling and traveling adventures. I think tonight we'll talk about what is some of the most funniest things, or what is some of the most craziest things that have happened to you while traveling. Did you get I mean, and it could be if you were on a day trip, maybe, or maybe you taking a trip on the weekend, or whatever it is. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to have had a few. One of the biggest things that you always, and that's why you always want to make sure that you're prepared and have everything ready. I can tell you one time that we were, and this was many years ago before they built the new Brave Stadium. It was in the old homes of the old home Atlanta Brave Stadium before they moved it, Fulton County Stadium. And I can remember we were traveling in a blue minivan. We were on our way going home from Florida, on our way back to Michigan. Of course, it was summer because it was me, my older sister, I think my younger sister. My older brother had graduated and he was already in the Army, I believe, at the time. Welcome in, guy. Nathan, hello, buddy. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hello to all those that are coming in. It's always a pleasure to see you guys. But anyways, so when you are traveling, you definitely want to make sure you're prepared for things, especially if you're traveling by well, it don't matter how you're traveling by. You just want to make sure you're traveling. I mean, in our case, even the best intentions, you can't always be prepared because I think it was something in the engine that went, some type of wires or something. But we were like 35, 40 miles outside of Atlanta. It's gray. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Let me fix it. Yeah, okay. Well, thank you for letting me know, Nathan. I'll fix it. It's let me know when it's all cleared up. I got to get to the camera adjustments. That's what it is. Ooh, saturation. Brightness, too much brightness. Let's bring the brightness back up. Ow. Okay. Okay. Saturation. Good now. Oh, hold on. Okay. A little better. Oh, let me see something. Well, okay. Let's turn the brightness down. How's that? Okay, good. Glad it's good. Um, Part of it is the lighting. I'll have to readjust the lighting. One of my lights, one of my lights keep going in and out. Jason, welcome in. Jason Theobado, welcome in, buddy. Hope you're going. Um, we're just talking. I was talking about traveling and how do you deal with issues that pop up when you're traveling. I mean, um, obviously, I'm sure we've all run into different types of issues when traveling. Um, I know that, like I was just telling them about a time that we were traveling back up from Florida to Michigan. This was still when I was a kid, and we were still living in Michigan. My aunt and uncle, my mom's sister, was living down in Florida, and we had traveled down to them, had a good time, was coming back, and on our way back, about 35 miles outside of Atlanta, our blue minivan broke down, and it was a hot day, blistering. Um, it was several miles before the next exit, and my I know that my dad and my sister had to walk to the next exit to get some help. Um, I mean, because there was nothing we could do. Obviously, mom stayed with me and my little sister. We were young. We would have been a long hike even for us because I was just a kid at the time when this happened. Um, but things do happen, and you want to try to plan for emergencies, and just think about it. You want to make sure that you have snacks and waters in the vehicle if you're traveling by vehicle, because you just never know when things are going to happen. Um, So, guys, hold on 1 second. Oh, this was many years ago, Nathan. You're talking. I probably was in the middle of elementary, probably early 80s when this happened. Um, but you don't think about things back then like that, like you do today. I mean, today when people are traveling, you think about having snacks in the cars and drinks for kids, and um, not wasn't so much like that many moons ago. Um, oh, what you cooking, John? My Unfortunately, I have to decide whether what I want for dinner. I ain't cooking. I'm actually gonna go out and get it and bring it home and chill for the night. Um, Hopefully I can get back in time to watch Corey on Corey Meets World because he's gonna be at.
Hola.
Oh, and there's Mike.
Hello.
Hey, Mike, what's up?
How's everybody tonight?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Not much. I was watching the Jennifer the Caruso earlier. Great stream.
Yeah, there's believe it or not, there's not too many people streaming right now. To believe it or not, Corey's gonna go. I know Corey's going at 7:30, but he's the only major. He's the only major one that I know that's going on.
Desert Dream. They're live right now. They're live. Desert Dream and Jeff and Angela. They're live on Thursdays. Hi Nathan, good to see you. Welcome in. Hello, Jason Thibodeau. Hello,
I was just talking about when you're traveling about and when things go wrong and we're at a time of year where everybody's traveling now.
Yep.
Whether you're flying or taking a cruise or traveling by vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's much different. I was telling them about a time that I had broken down. My family had broken down. My sister was still in junior high school, or maybe she might have been early high school.
Not today.
Yeah, please don't get him started. He's depressed. It's closed.
I might be getting one this weekend. Actually, I may be getting 2 this weekend, but I don't know yet.
Oh, wait a minute. Are you talking? Oh, it's too bloody hot there. Listen, when it comes to Disney World, you're going to take the heat and go with it. You just know to stay hydrated and run with the flow. How you doing, Shirley? Good to see you.
I'm going to say this because I would say this. Magic Kingdom, as I was watching the stream, it did not look busy today. And even last night when I was watching both in Magic Kingdom as well as Epcot, it looked to me like it wasn't busy at all.
But they did have some. I do know they had some extra magic hours lately. Yes. The last couple of days.
Yes.
So a lot of people might have taken and might not be going. It might be busier tonight than
right.
The day. Right. A lot of people might have stayed at resorts.
Absolutely.
No telling. No telling.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and
that's true.
And that
everybody,
is true too.
Everybody is more than likely at the resorts in the pools.
Now,
relaxing.
I'll be in that heat. I would be at the park if I could.
For me, I would do it 2 ways. I would do it in the morning, go back to my resort, cool off, and then at night go back.
All day. I'd be there all day.
And go to Disney Springs too.
I'd be there all day. I would just make sure I be drinking plenty of fluid.
Oh, absolutely.
That's all. That's I mean, you've seen me. You guys have seen me do it. I've done it on hot days before.
Yes. But the rain is good.
Oh, well, now here's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
State of Florida needs rain.
Absolutely.
We got maybe like 10 minutes of rain yesterday. Our grass is so dead down here right now. It's beyond belief. I mean, we can't even mow at the school.
You're
the
kidding.
Grass is so brown.
Wow.
I'll tell you how much rain. We have not had much rain in the last
3 or 4 weeks. So that's true, Cherie, unless you're indoors.
Yes. Anyway, so I was talking about. I thought. I mean, I'm tired from work all week. We've been pressure washing, and so I thought I'd just take it easy. And again, I thought, traveling adventures. Well, you know what? Let's talk about being prepared for traveling when something pops up, because
absolutely.
What do you do, like going through an airport? What do you do if you misplace your boarding passes?
That's why you have it on your phone.
Not everybody does, Mike.
I understand that.
Now it's going that way pretty much. A lot of it is.
It is. I know for me, I know for myself, I make sure before I go, like.
No, that's a shame, Cherie.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
Hi, Debbie. Good to see you. Yay. Hi, Jeannie. It's good to see you. Okay.
It's over 100. It's actually almost 100 and something with the heat index here today.
You want to know what it is here? It's 82. That's not bad.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Is that all? Mm-hmm. It's about 103 with the heat index, Bob.
Woo! In Disney World right now, it's raining. It's raining, and you just mentioned rain.
Hello, my dear friend Debbie.
Hello, Debbie. It's good to see you.
Yes, and I'm making sure Mike is behaving today. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. It's good to see everybody today. I really wasn't going to show. Honestly, I'm going to. You're talking about one of those bumpity emergencies of whether you wanted to be prepared or whether you just shut it down. I almost decided to do it, but I need to keep going because we're running.
Right.
I may be tired, but it's a good thing. I can tell you guys officially that the website is officially starting to be designed. I finally talked with the senior project manager on Monday.
Excellent.
And I know some of you guys were updated on Monday. All Mike knew was that I had paid for the part of the website. Right. You didn't know what the status was. I did talk to the web designer, and right now they're designing a basic website for me to look at, a sample, and then we'll go from there and we'll talk through the process and change things I need, things I needed added. So that's a good thing. Yeah, but so hopefully within the next several weeks we'll have our website. It's
absolutely
getting closer, people, getting closer.
Good, Dave. It's really good.
Then it'll be time to go to town.
Yep. Now, I have a question. So
I charge for questions by the word. It's $100 a word.
Really?
No, just throw out.
I'm like, jeez.
Hey, gotta make money somehow. That's why I'm a traveler. I don't charge some of the fees that some agents do for booking things. That's the one good thing I can honestly say. I don't charge booking fees. There are certain type of fees that travel agents can book.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't charge those fees.
Correct.
I need to make sure I put that on the website. I only get commission.
Big letter.
I only get commission off of what
You need to put that on your front page in big bold letters,
so people know.
Right.
That's going to make a big difference too.
It is.
Anyway, so what's your question, bud? Throw out.
Okay. So as you're doing the website, make sure that it is user friendly.
It's going to be simple. It ain't going to be there's not going to be. It's going to be here's what I'm going to tell you guys this.
All right.
It's going to be so simple. It's going to be beyond belief.
Okay.
The only one that's going to have any administration to it is me. So the only one that will be allowed to make any changes to it at all will be me or anybody that's assigned to my website project. That like if down the road, if I want to change it up a little bit, all I have to do is call them up and they will do it for me.
Good.
So and basically, it's going to have one page that's going to contain all the deals and different things that I offer. You know, what suppliers I use, what deals that are going on.
Right.
You know, from time to time, I may do a gift card thing, which I can put up there for like if you know, down the road, I may do a $50 gift card for just talking to me.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's going to be one of the page. One page it's going to be about me, about the company, contact information. Other pages, no forms. All forms go through me.
Right.
So they don't have to fill nothing out. All they have to do is contact me, email me, phone call me, and I will get with them, and that's all. Now, eventually down the line, I may add a form on there to say, look, if you're interested, but it's going to have my email on there. So all they have to do is email me. So it's not like I need to put any forms on there. So it's going to be, honestly, most travel agents have things that you end up doing and clicking on and all that. But mine is kind of out of the box of the norm of the regular.
Yeah, can I make a suggestion though? When you get into the Halloween with that and Christmas stuff, make it look a little festive too. You know what I mean?
I'm not even worried about it right now. I need to get it up and put it out. Now, I mean, and don't get me wrong. Yes, I will change the colors and the format and things like that. And that actually reminded me. I need to write that question. Remind me after the show to write that question down about that.
Sure.
I wanted to ask them about that, whether that is something they need to do and how at times where change the colors. Because you are right, Mike. I had already thought about that. Because from time to time, I'll want some of that changed up.
You need to.
But I do know that I will have certain access to certain things that I can change. So, like I could add pictures of Christmas things on the website and things like that.
But make sure that they're current and not, old.
And don't worry, I'll make sure I put a big sign on there that says, "Sorry, Starbucks closed today." This is for Mike.
You do that, and people are gonna something. Anyways,
how you doing, buddy? I missed you over the last couple of.
I'm sorry. I've just been doing stuff, and
that's fine. I'm glad you were able to make it tonight. That's why I wanted to see if you could make. I mean, I know Richard's still down in Florida, so I knew he wasn't going to make it. But that's why I reached out to you and say, "Hey, are you going to be able to make it tonight?" Understand if you couldn't.
I
would have probably wrote Mama D in here.
Yes.
And she's more than welcome to come on anytime she wants.
Absolutely. Come on in. Come on in,
Debbie. If she wants to come join us, she's more than welcome to come join us.
Anybody who ever wants to come in.
Let me ask you guys in the chat.
All right.
When you guys are traveling, something always happens. You forget forms or you forget something. I mean, I can guarantee you there's no vacation that ever goes 100% perfect. Never. If you are, then you're the only people that have had
Do
vacations that are
clothes
gone.
count?
What, for getting clothes?
Yeah, for getting clothes.
Or
shoes.
getting, or yeah, that
Here's a
counts
good
because what
one.
happens if you go on a cruise and they misplay, maybe they put the luggage in the wrong room, or if you're flying on a plane and
What
they
if you
put the
lose your
luggage on
passport?
the wrong plane.
What about
Yeah,
this one? Losing your passport. That's another one.
that's a
big
major one.
one. Especially when you're doing international.
Yes,
That's
that is a
huge.
big thing. Yeah,
Ooh, how about
and that
this?
can happen.
Whether you're getting your medicine. Because
Yep.
people sometimes forget their
That
medicine.
is a big one. Now I'm fortunate enough
Contact
that I only
lenses,
have one. I only have for me to
sunscreen.
forget my medicine would be nice
Right.
because I only have one pill I take. So
Right.
for
But I'm
anybody
just
that
saying,
but forgetting your medication and
forgetting
all of a sudden
sunscreen,
you have
that's
to
a
reach
good
out to
one.
your doctor to get this medication, especially in
What
the
about
foreign
this,
country.
Dave? What about this? What if you were to, quote unquote, break something? You're walking and you trip. You know what I mean? It'd be, and I mean, like,
really
really
have to go to the hospital because you got injured.
Or going to first aid. I'm just saying,
that type of stuff.
that can happen.
You can't. I'm talking about things that you
What about
normally can
this
control, like your
What about
medicine.
this one, Dave? I just thought of a bigger one than that. Your flight has been delayed more than once. That's a big
you can't
one.
control.
Right, but what I'm saying is, that can happen.
Now, I will tell you as a travel agent, if you, let's say you booked a flight through me and you're trying to fly, let's say, fly into Orlando to get to Port Canaveral, or you fly into Fort Lauderdale to get to either Miami or or Fort Lauderdale ports for a cruise, then I would here's two things that I tell you. One, let your travel agent know so they can coordinate with the thing.
Yeah.
But then also call the cruise line and let them know, say, hey, my flight's been delayed because of this, this, and this. Right. And here's the other thing that I also am recommending now fully. After doing this for about a year, I will tell you, if you guys ever do decide to take, I don't care what type of vacation, think about getting
the travel insurance.
No, the insurance, travel insurance.
Right, I know. That's what I just said.
Because you never know what happens. Maybe you had a death in the family, and all of a sudden you have to cancel your trip.
Yep. I better do that. I mean,
that my mom always did that, Debbie. My mom always. Now see, I've done that over the last several trips. I mean, I never made long lists, but I would say, okay, I need to make sure I got this. But mom made sure that, okay, this bill needs to be paid. These bills before we go. This needs to be taken care of. We need to get this done to the vehicle. We need to have this done before we get just a couple of days before we leave. We need to make sure we got this packed. And, mom was always a big one for that.
Here's something interesting.
And somehow we never forget a thing. But something always ends up happening that we always end up forgetting something. Believe it or not. And the medication is part of it. Mom would have some of the medication,
right?
But then she would look back and go, fudge.
I get it. Now, Dave, going on for what the Debbie said. Okay, when I went on my last trip, I had my outfits packed and everything. I had it all laid out. Then I get down there. I don't have any long sleeves. So I'm like, okay, what do I do now? That's when spiritualities came into the mix. Let me tell you, when I bought my first one,
nobody does spiritualities.
I had no idea how cold it got down there.
Let me ask you this. If you had everything laid out, how did you forget it?
Here's the thing. When I left with it was freezing. When I got down there, it was fine until I go outside and it's like 40, 50 degrees. Now 40, 50 here is so different than down there.
Yeah, that's 40 and 50. And for anybody outside of Florida, that could be a little chilly. For some, for us Florida residents, 40 and 50, 40 and 50 degrees for us is beautiful weather. Yeah. Thank you, John. Boy, is this.
You know what's funny about that? You know what's funny about that? When I came back,
he had five suitcases for spare jerseys and one suitcase for everything else.
You know what's funny, Dave? Speaking of that, Dave, honestly, I got all my spare jerseys, all of my plush, and all of my artwork in my suitcase and was able to bring it all back with no problems.
And then how much of the clothes did you leave down in Orlando?
None.
Just to get all that full.
None, Dave. Because now here's the other thing.
That is true too, Sheree. That is true too.
Because I knew that I was going to bring back stuff. I didn't know how much stuff I was going to bring. So it's like for me.
Well, yeah, but why didn't you? Okay, you had everything laid out. Why didn't you pack some spare jerseys just in case?
I didn't
know what the weather was going to do.
Here's the thing. My body temperature is like so different because I will get any other. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Right. And you're right, Sheree. Here's my thing.
See,
and I will tell you, I'm going to go. Here's where I'm going to go opposite. Okay. Here's where I go opposite. Going from Florida to Michigan during the winter months.
Yeah, let me
ask you. Now you're talking perfect example. Now you're talking perfect example because now you're going in reverse. You're going from heat, which
cold.
With Florida, we know during the winter it can either be warm or it can get really chilly down here.
Yes, it can.
So I have to, now I don't go packing shorts because I know you ain't going to wear shorts.
I wear shorts year-round.
Up in Michigan.
I actually do. Believe it or not, I do. I wear shorts year-round.
You may wear them in the house, but you're not wearing them outside.
Oh, yes, I have.
Not in Michigan when you get off. Now you got to remember this. When you're around a lot of lake winter, too cold. And almost everywhere I go, we're around lakes.
Let me
ask you. We get the cold water. We get the cold air off of those lakes, which is like frigid ice.
Right.
And
let me ask you this question, Dave.
We don't necessarily get a lot of. We don't necessarily get a ton of snow, but we do get the very extreme cold, rigid ice, cold air from the water mixture.
Let me ask you this question, Dave. Seriously, now, for me, when I go to Florida, it's usually cold here. And then when I get down there, it's warm. Now, the interesting thing for you is you do the opposite. Because
I fly from Florida to Michigan during the Christmas holiday.
Let me ask you this question. When you go from your location down there up to Michigan, how do you keep yourself from not getting sick?
I make sure I have my gloves.
Look at that huge weather gap.
Well, here's the thing. You pack in the opposite. I make sure I pack my gloves to keep my fingers from getting frostbite. I make sure I have a hat to cover my ears.
Don't need that.
Well, it can. And now you got to understand, some days it can get cold where if we got wind that's blowing, ears. I don't care what it is. Your ears are going to get cold. You got to have it covered. Either that or you wear a scarf.
You mean? Never mind. But
to answer your one statement, Cherie, yes, that's why you always check the weather. I don't care. I don't care if you're going like me going to Michigan. I pay attention to what it's doing because now I'm not going to be driving this year. This will be the first time I've flown in probably. I have not flown in about 20 years. This will be the first time This will be the first time in 20 years that I'll be flying to Michigan. I won't be driving. Normally, my parents. Well, here's the thing. Normally my parents would fly up,
right,
and then I would drive up,
right,
or they would drive with me, depending on when school got out for Christmas break.
Right.
But and you had to prepare because I'll tell you here's a funny story. You're talking about preparing for this.
Oh yeah.
Everything on my car was working up. I stopped to get gas this is how frigid cold it was one year when I got up there. It just started snowing after I got over the state line into Michigan.
Gosh. Wow.
I stopped to get gas or I stopped to get something. I went to start my car up. Car started up fine, was running, but it was snowing. So I had to use, I knew I was going to have to use my windshield wipers. My windshield wipers froze solid. It got so cold it froze the engine part to the windshield wipers.
How did you even
get how cold? And the thing of it is, I had water in the water thing for the windshield wipers, but it completely froze. It completely froze the engine to the wipers.
Let me ask you this question. Were you able to drive at all?
That it does, Cherie. That it does.
Like
exactly. Thank you, Debbie. That's exactly what I do. I prepare for it. I mean, because I take a medium-sized coat and then I take a big fat coat that I can fit over the smaller coat when I go to Michigan. Because most of the time you'll find out, even most of the time, I usually wear my ball caps. Unless it's a real cold day, then I'll put on something to put over my ears. But my one coat that I have, it has a hood on it, so I can just put the hood up, and I usually bundle up that way.
For me,
exactly, Cherie.
The weird thing is for me, I get hot very, very easily, which means I sweat a lot. And it's like, and to be honest with you, people think I'm nuts for wearing shorts in 3-degree weather. And yes,
it's all that Starbucks. It's got you messed up.
No, it isn't, Dave. No, it isn't. I'm fine. I'm
just teasing you. I'm teasing you. I'm just teasing you about the Starbucks because I'm saying that Starbucks, it's got you messed up.
It's okay. But seriously, though, when I'm in the city, the only thing that I need is either a Spirit jersey or a hoodie, and that's it. And I'm good.
Well, that may be for you, but you go to some states, and I'm going to tell you, Mike, you're going to need more than just a Spirit.
The only time that I will ever wear sweats is when it snows, and that's it.
Let me put it to you this way: if you go to the upper UP, Michigan, or you go to places like Montana or North Dakota, snow gets piled up above houses where you can't even use vehicles.
Buffalo, it's worse here with snow.
No, thank you. Snowshoes to walk around.
No, thank you. I'll pass. Seriously, though.
And then, so imagine how cold it is.
Yeah, I know.
Your Spirit jerseys wouldn't help. Well, you would need more. Put it to you this way: you would need more than your Spirit.
I could put all my Spirit jerseys on, and I would roast, especially my heavy ones.
I would love to see that, and then I'm going to roll you down the whole hill and see if we can make a snowball out of you.
Very funny.
Oh, Debbie, you know what? You're a special
lady. Come on, you look great.
Yes,
you look fabulous.
You're always looking good, Debbie.
Absolutely.
You just listen. All you have to do, Debbie, is put a smile on, and you light up a room.
Yep, absolutely.
You light up the chat, and when you're on stream, you light up the stream.
Yeah.
See, you're out. So you're outvoted, Debbie.
So, yeah,
I mean, because some of the biggest things that you and see that what some of those other things that you mentioned, like losing your passports and hi, Mary Carol. Hope you're doing good. Say hello to Adam, Rita, and Blake. Meow, meow, meow for me. I'm doing good, and tell your little kitties hi for me.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, and that's one of the biggest things you do have to worry about.
Here's another one, Dave. Seriously, now you never know when something big. Let me ask you this question, Dave. Seriously,
what?
When you travel, especially overseas, when a big thing happens, and I mean a big thing, how do they get all the U.S. citizens back to the States? If you
depends on what you're talking about.
Something
depends on where you're at, what you're talking about, and how it affects it. That's all controlled by the State Department.
Right, I know that. But
I will tell you that as a travel agent, there's
when I'm on vacation, I don't watch the news.
Are flagged that we cannot make any bookings for because they're on the State Department's "you do not go there" list.
Well, let me ask you this question, Dave. Seriously, now me, when I am on vacation, I never watch the news. I don't watch any of it. Now, say something happens. How will they get a hold of me? Like, here's the thing. Now, where can you even find all this stuff? Because
okay, let me tell you this.
People
here, I'm going to settle this right now.
You know where I'm going with this, right, Dave?
I know where you're going with this.
Yeah.
The perfect example would be right now if you wanted to travel to the Holy Land.
Forget it.
In Israel. Forget it. Listen, you got to understand where that's happening.
I know that.
You can go over there and be safe, but you have to go under. Here's the thing. You understand the fact that there's fighting going on with Hamas,
right?
But you won't be anywhere near the fighting. That's the thing. You won't be near the fighting, but you got to understand that things happen. So if you're gonna go, you go with extreme caution. But here's the thing:
how do you do that without losing? See, this is where I'm
now,
like.
What do you mean by losing? What are we talking about losing?
What I mean is, okay, say something big's going on, and I haven't watched the news. How do they know to get in touch with me to bring me home if I was overseas? I'm just saying hypothetically.
First of all, as the traveler, you need to be aware of what's going on. You need to keep up on it. Then you need to know how to get a hold of the State Department if needed.
Well, don't you have to go to the embassy?
And here's the thing: if it's that bad, the State Department's going to put it on a travel advisory that says no Americans allowed to go to this country.
Well, let me ask
you. As a travel agent, I know I have a listing, and I can confirm the listing with the State Department website of where people can travel.
Okay.
And I would tell you, you can't go there because of this situation. It's on the travel. It's on the travel advisory. So one way or another, you would never be put into that place. Now, if you're there as well, and sure, and that's the thing. If you're only in a group of 2 or 3, then you all need somebody in that group needs to be aware of what's going on around you at all times. So if something does pop up, then you need to know how to get a hold of the travel
That makes sense,
or
Sheree.
the State Department or the embassy in that country.
But do you have to go to the embassy first to get out? Because
Not necessarily.
my thing, and mind you, with that, this is a guess, is that you had to go to the embassy first, then go to the airport to get on the next flight. I mean, that's the way I always thought it
Well,
worked. I have no idea how
that would be the smart way to do it. If something comes up that you need to get out of there, evacuated fast.
Yeah.
Then check with the embassy on what's going on and why you need to get out and how do you go about doing it so that they know you're there. Right. Otherwise, as far as I don't want you to.
It's hard because
and here's my thing about this, Mike. You cannot make a hill out of a mole.
Right, I know, but the thing is, though, you have to be on alert. Nowadays, you do.
It depends on where you're going.
True.
Listen, you need to pay attention to what's. Here's my thing. There's a difference of being on high alert and paying attention to what's going on around you.
I'm in New York City. I'm on high alert all the time.
Listen, I pay attention to what's going around me when I walk around my school at the high school. I pay attention to me when I walk around what's going on.
I get it.
When I go to Walmart.
I do that too.
So the bottom line is, it's not so much being on a high alert. It's just pay attention to what's going on around you. Be aware of everything that's going on in the news. If you know you're going somewhere where things are getting a little heated, then you may need to rethink your plans or your trips. And that's where you talk to your travel advisor and say, look, this is what's going on. Do I have any? And here's especially if you go through a travel advisor and you're going to a foreign country, if there's issues going on, then you tell your travel advisor your concerns. Your travel advisor he'll in my case, if there was something you were telling me, I would say, look, Mike, I'm not quite sure what's going on. Let me go through my hosting agency. Let me check with the State Department. Let me get back to you so that I can give you a good advice. And I may say, okay, you can go, just be aware what's going on, and it's still safe for you to go. But this is what I advise.
Let me ask you this question, Dave. Seriously, with this now, is each state different, or does this go through the DC? Which way does it go? Because you're talking about the State Department.
What do you mean? Are you talking foreign countries, or are you talking United States?
I'm talking foreign countries here, because in my mind, I'm like,
if something comes up that you get into that massive a problem, like you lose your passport or something.
Yeah, you have to go to the embassy.
Go through the embassy.
Right.
Go through the embassy.
Right.
They have departments there that have the embassy. Yeah, and the thing of it is,
right there.
It's only, and here's the thing with Ireland. It's not all of Ireland that has issues. It's just specific areas, because you have the IRA. There's still you got to remember, at one point in time,
right,
part of Ireland was still owned. I don't know if it is now today or not. It was still under the rule of the British. Now, I don't know if it is completely today or if it's not. I couldn't tell you. But I would tell you that if you're going to like Dublin, just be aware. Make sure you're traveling with other people. Be aware of your surroundings. It's not that you can't go there. You just be aware of what's going on and keep your heads up and keep your wits about you.
Let me ask you this question, because
don't don't be an easy target for them. Just pay attention to what's going on and be aware and make sure you know where it's safe to go to and where it's not safe to go to.
Well, here's another question too, Dave. Seriously. Usually most are fine. But when you get to talking to locals, that's when it gets a little tricky, don't you think?
No.
Especially when they bring up stuff. You know what I mean?
No.
Because it's tricky.
No.
Or
because now here's the problem with that.
I'm being serious.
I know, but now here's the problem with that. That would be like me talking to a local in Dublin and thinking he's part of a terrorist group when he's not. You cannot dub everybody like that.
I know that. I am not the type of person to do that, but
I'm not saying you are, Mike. But do you see where I'm going with that?
What I'm saying is,
no, I mean, do you see where I'm going with that thought?
Information out of me about what's going on within this country. It's like that's a red flag for me right there. Because
you're actually safer. I'm going to tell you, you're probably more safer to going to other foreign countries than you are walking down to a major city in the United States.
Really?
I've heard that. Yeah, you're probably more safe. You're probably more safer. I'm not saying there's not danger in other countries.
I know one country that
there's certain parts of the world that you probably, as an American, that you're probably more safe for going there.
I know one in particular.
Than you are
Japan's one of them.
I hate to say it. You're probably safer. There's probably more parts of the world that are safer than walking down New York.
Can I be honest with you, Dave? But Japan is so safe, it's not even funny. It is.
They don't mess around with crime. They do not mess with crime.
They do not. I mean, one thing.
But remember this.
I know.
They still do have their issues.
I understand that.
Everybody has their issues.
Absolutely.
It all comes down to
where do you want to go? Yeah, exactly.
Be aware of things.
You know what's interesting?
And know your options.
Right, right.
And I will tell you this: when you are going to foreign countries, and you did say one thing, and I wasn't against it. Make sure you do got those numbers, like the numbers to the embassy.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, you don't need it for any reason, but
you may need it. You never know when you need it. You know,
and if you lose your passport,
you need to go to the embassy quick, because it's like I need to get it. I need to get another.
Oh, well.
Now wait a minute.
It's not totally.
Now wait a minute.
There are some nice spots you can go to. There are some nice spots you can go to in New York. But again, you still have to be aware of your surroundings, even in the safe spot.
Because this is usually.
I think he's just picking on you, Mike.
It's one of the myths, though. It really is, because, listen, I have been in Times Square at 8 o'clock at night.
Here's my thing. Well, now here's the thing. One place I would tell you not to be at during dark, I had to tell you, Central City Parkway is
absolutely Central Park at night. You do not want to be there at night. Trust me.
No,
you don't.
That's one of those things.
Really?
Oh,
now that's
okay. There you go.
Here's the thing with this. I try not to linger within the city, because my thing is I know where to go and I know what to avoid. That's the thing.
Well, I look at that. And here's my thing. That's why I've always, when we always joke about it, I said, there are things that I want to do in New York City, but if I don't ever do them,
it's okay.
I'm not going to cry over it, because to me, New York is not on my high list of priorities to visit. I have higher priorities, which would be going to Hawaii, going to Alaska, going to Antarctica, going to Australia. So, and yeah.
Enough for that?
Yes,
best time to use the subway.
Hear about the horror stories of all the time about the subways,
I'm telling you, rush hour is like the best time to use it as a subway because there are a lot of people. I feel
don't ever try to get a taxi because trying to get a taxi in that town is ridiculous.
Taxi!
Listen, every video I've seen of the roads going on there, all you see is buses and taxis.
And what do? Beep. And I love it. Let me tell you something. I've been on a New York City bus, and believe me, when they beep, they beep.
Listen, I'd rather be on a Disney bus listening to Disney music.
Wait a minute, really? Oh my goodness!
Wow, John.
Wow.
Now I understand why he don't. Okay, I understand why. I can understand why he feels about New York City.
Yeah.
That makes complete sense now.
I get that. Believe me, I do.
But he's all in New York City.
I get the point. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, and that's why we're saying it don't matter where you're going.
Right.
I could be walking out of Walmart and something could happen.
Oh, I know.
It's about a lie. When you're traveling, it comes down to this. Know the phone numbers that you need.
Definitely.
Be aware of your surroundings.
Believe me, I do.
Listen. When I go back to Michigan, I'm aware of what's going on around me at all 24, especially when I'm in Detroit.
Of course.
And now, granted, Detroit has become one of the better safe. It's actually becoming one of the better cities in the U.S.
I always thought it was.
No, Detroit has improved. It has improved. It still has its issues. It still has with Detroit. It still has its outskirts of issues.
That's right.
But they've revamped the whole downtown area.
Good.
So it's it's revitalizing. So it comes down to be smart, be safe.
Not bad about that. It's not. That's when I usually leave, is during midday.
Yeah. It's all about knowing where you're at, being aware.
Yeah.
It's just being safety conscious and being smart. That's what.
Let me ask you this question, Dave. Seriously, how do you keep yourself safe in a foreign city?
With traveling at least. Travel with another 2 or 3 people.
Okay.
Making sure somebody has numbers to what you need. Make sure somebody's carrying all the documents that you need.
Yep. And also get maps.
And be aware. And know a little bit about the history of where you're going to. Exactly. As to whether there's been issues or not. I mean, if you're going to like Venice or somewhere where there's not really been any major issues, then it's something where you can be a little bit more relaxed, but still you can't totally relax because you're a foreign visitor to that country.
Absolutely.
So you don't shut down your safety thing.
No.
You don't shut down your safety thing. No. You just don't have to be up here on the higher.
Part of that is that when you hear stuff, that's when my own personal thing goes from like here goes up all the way up.
And I will tell you this though,
it's tricky.
One point about that is you got to be careful with that because sometimes that can be it's a safety factor, and I understand that, Mike. But try to keep an open mind and that can also be a hindrance of you enjoying yourself in a place that you wanted to go see. If you're up here, then you're going to want to stay indoors. You're going to stay away.
Not me. I actually want to do stuff, but still be on alert.
But if you're way up here, it can cause you to think twice about doing certain things.
Right.
At least for some people, maybe not you, but most people, if they're up here, they're gonna pull back and think of other things instead of what they really want to there's a difference between throwing caution to the wind and just going gung ho and not being smart about things and doing stupid things.
You know what's
versus,
interesting?
Versus being a conscious traveler of knowing to stay safe, but yet knowing to relax and enjoying yourself.
I mean, it's just. I am not saying anything bad about going anywhere. Believe me.
Oh, I know.
I want to go places. Believe me, I do.
But does it make sense of what I'm saying? I mean, I mean,
am I losing my mind or am I like being smart about it? Let me ask you that question.
No, you're just asking logical questions.
Yeah, I am, because this is the kind of stuff you ask your travel agent. Absolutely, this kind of stuff.
Depending on where you're going.
Absolutely.
I mean, those things like that. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to have to ask those questions going on a cruise line. Because if I know already, if I know my itinerary,
right,
I'm already going to be looking at, okay, what kind of activities are at these places. So I'm already going to be studying about that.
Right.
Or I'm going to have my travel agent be looking at these things of knowing what to do. And obviously, because, listen, when you go to Freeport, we all know Freeport, there's certain places you don't go.
Where's that?
Is it Freeport or Nassau?
I think it's Nassau. It's one of them.
It may be Nassau. There's parts that you go to that you don't want to go to, but then there's a lot of parts you do want to visit. So it's just knowing about where to go, where to be safe, and travel in groups, travel in small groups, even if it's one other person with you. Travel in two pairs at least.
Would you say, Dave, seriously, now, also as a safety thing, would you say to get to know other people on your cruise? I'm curious about that.
I would. You might make new friends.
Cool.
Listen, don't give them your whole life story and don't give them
no.
But I mean, don't be. And I'm just using that being, I'm being, that critical point of me. Don't be that type of a stupid person to do that kind of thing. Versus, don't be afraid to make friends, because you may go on a cruise, and I'm just using cruises. It don't necessarily have to be a cruise. You may meet. You could be sitting at the resort, and maybe you run into somebody sitting at the pool at the resort and talking and having fun.
Absolutely.
But most places like that, it's going to happen when you're somewhere where it's got that type of
vibe.
That vibe of meeting people and making friends, which is usually on a cruise ship. That's why the best thing for that is a cruise ship. Yeah, make friends.
Yeah. Okay, because
don't be afraid to talk to them and all that. And
I mean, I love to talk to people, but it's like you know.
Had I had dinner, I mean, I could have actually talked with I would have only been, well, let's see. I would have been in my upper 30s when we took my cruise. Well, 53, 13. Yeah, because we did, like I said, we did this about 2009, 2010, somewhere in there. So I would have been in my upper 30s just before. And I could have, but with mom and dad being sick,
right,
I just used the buffet area. I didn't go to the dining things because there was no use. It was just me. I mean, because see, when you're sitting in a formal dining, you're usually sitting with those same people all the time at dinner time.
Yeah, because
with Carnival. Let me rephrase that. Usually that is the way Carnival did it in the past. Now it could change, but usually you're sitting with the same group every time, same dinner time, same thing. So you would get to know those people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So you would encourage, and it was a mother and two daughters that was at the table with me, mom, and dad, and
nice.
So yeah.
I
wish I had gone to the dinner and met, talked with them a little bit more.
Yeah. But
So don't be afraid to make friends that don't be just be aware of what you're saying and don't just blurt out
I
any
know
type
one
of
thing though.
information. And I'm
Whenever
not talking to you, Mike. I'm just talking in general to everybody.
right. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're not what I'm saying is in general to everybody. Be ready to make friends and enjoy a good conversation with people, especially if they enjoy Disney. I mean, what brings us to this community?
The love of Disney, everything,
and for a lot of us, the love of travel. I mean, obviously for me, it's the love of travel and all that. And I'm not going to be afraid to talk to people about traveling and all that. But I'm also going to be, I'm going to have that, you got that personal space bubble.
Absolutely.
You know how comfortable you are with allowing people to come in with a certain amount of that space of that bubble.
Absolutely. I've been doing that for years.
Yeah, and I'm still trying to get you over the Starbucks.
Never happened.
Yet, but I will one of these days.
It won't happen, Dave. Seriously.
Hey, I can keep trying, buddy. I can keep
trying. And I am still going to try to get you in one.
That's okay. Meanwhile, while we're all doing that, let me go ahead and play this, guys. Since we're talking about travel, and it's been a good conversation. I'm glad you came on, Mike. Because I think it helped to make it a little bit more fun. And again, we're talking because we're talking summer. Everybody's traveling. Families are traveling.
One thing that we haven't covered yet, Dave.
We'll talk.
The weather.
Hold on to that, but let me play my commercial, and we'll be back in 2 and 2. Wrong one.
You hit.
Let me play the. This is the Cantrell Country Travelway. I'm the agent and owner, David Cantrell. If you're looking to travel through the U.S. national parks or maybe to the waterways from beaches to ocean cruises, let the Cantrell Country Travelway help you find your magical vacation.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
Welcome back, guys.
Welcome back. Yes, if you're looking to travel, please make sure you reach out to me.
Mm-hmm. I don't see it, Dave.
Now you can see me. Now you should be able to see me.
Yep.
Yeah, I have my cam off because I don't like playing.
I
don't like sitting there with that skinny thing. I mean, I'll have to look at it better. But make sure you guys, if you're looking to travel, reach out to me. You can reach me through the thing. I gotta start putting the links back into these things. I just haven't. I've been so tired. I haven't done that at all this week. So when I set up next week's streams, I'll start putting the links in.
Right.
the thumbnails back up as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so traveling at this point time of year, it's just be safe,
It's
be
great.
smart
Yeah.
about things. But at the same time, do what you're supposed to do. Relax,
Absolutely.
have a magical time. If you're
Absolutely.
traveling with family, enjoy that time with that
I
family,
agree. I
and
agree.
that's all you can say. I mean, what else did you want to say?
Speaking of this, the time of year, there is one thing, especially at the in Florida that you need to worry about, and that's the weather down there. Especially when it comes to like hurricanes and stuff, and tornadoes and things like
You
that.
cannot. Okay, I'm going to tell you this right now.
Sure.
Don't worry. The only thing you need to be worried about is making sure you stay hydrated.
True.
Don't worry about the hurricanes unless you know one is actually coming.
Mm,
Now, if you know one's coming, then
right.
keep an eye on it.
Of
But
course.
other than that, don't, I mean, if you're talking about a tidal wave that's off of, and that's unfortunately, I know people down here that actually live in Florida
Yeah.
that it's miles offshore
Right.
and it's way in the Gulf or way in the Atlantic, and they're saying, well, what if this hits
Right.
this and this, it could hit this? And I'm like, why in the heck are you worrying about it until it gets closer to us?
Better to be prepared.
Once it gets closer to us, then
Mm,
start really paying attention to what you
mm,
need to do.
mm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I mean, to worry
I'm
about
just
something
saying,
that
in
now,
general,
but
you
now,
know,
but as far as weather-wise, I agree with you. Like, be aware of what the heat index and the temp is going to be.
take
So that
breaks and go back to your resort
to
and have
make sure
fun.
that you can be
Mhm.
outside for a little bit.
Yeah.
Then make sure you get indoors for a little bit,
Absolutely.
rehydrate, stay
Eat.
cool, and just make sure that
Mhm.
especially when you're at Disney, when you're traveling to Disney, you know you're going to be outdoors,
Oh yeah.
but you also know that you're going to have to get indoors for a little bit, get in
Yep.
somewhere where it's cool, get somewhere where you can rehydrate, eat
Right.
a snack,
Yep.
thing.
Eat
But that
Disney
doesn't
food and
mean
enjoy.
you can't enjoy the parks. It's
Right.
just be aware of what's going on. I mean, now if you know
Absolutely.
rain's coming, then
Right.
obviously make sure you might have a poncho or an umbrella
Yep.
that day. You know,
Mhm. Yeah.
you know. But I mean, as far as like a hurricane, you'll know about that, and
Oh, I know.
and then take advice as it's getting closer, because you don't know. The
Right.
problem is with the hurricanes, you just
Right.
don't know what the pattern is, so you do have to pay
Correct.
attention to it. But
Right. But
worry about the day to day weather,
right.
and then as days go by and you see a hurricane is coming, then
Mhm.
do what you need to do to prepare for it,
Mhm.
or alter your plans,
Right.
cancel your plan. Do what you need to do
Absolutely.
as a travel.
Mhm. Absolutely. I mean, it's now. I mean, what that was one of the things that was on my mind. Yeah,
All right.
that was
Well,
basically one of the things that was on my mind.
I, I know I pretty much had everything that was on my mind. Um,
Ooh, let me ask you this question, Dave. Speaking of international travel,
and guys, if you
mm,
do got any questions that you want to ask me,
yeah,
please put them in the chat and just
Mhm.
put them directed to me. Um,
I just thought of something else, Dave. Too seriously,
what?
is it wise when you travel overseas to do with a cash or card?
Both.
That's what I
Both.
thought.
Be a wise. Make
That's what
sure
I
you
thought.
got. I'm going to tell you. Make sure you have some cash.
Hmm.
Um, but it doesn't mean you can't use your cards.
Okay.
Just be vigilant. Like, well, even hey, listen, it's like being in the States.
Oh
You
yeah,
got to be vigilant with your cards here in the States, right?
absolutely.
Take that same
Yeah.
type of care
Okay.
and use it over there. But
Okay.
make sure you are, because here's my thing. Do I have my debit cards? Yes. Do I have cash on me in hand? Yeah. I always keep $20 to $30 in cash on me.
Right.
Not
Me
always,
too. I do the same
sometimes.
thing. I do
Um,
the same thing.
you know, I don't always have cash on me, so
Right.
it's a hit or miss. But I
Right.
try to have a little bit on me.
Absolutely.
Um, so I would say definitely both on
Okay.
that.
Okay. I was
That
just curious.
especially if they use a different currency, and you
Hmm.
might have to change that currency rate.
Speaking of that, how do you change your currency?
You can go to banks. Banks will give you currency for that country.
Really?
So if you know you're going to, let's say you're going to Australia,
I'll,
their currency is the pounds, I
I'll
believe.
give you an easy one, Dave. Canada. Do they
Problem
accept
is
US dollar?
Canada takes American dollars.
Oh, they do. Okay,
Yes.
that's cool.
Now the Canadian money is higher than the
Mm,
American, so you actually get, or is it reversed? Something. I mean, it used to be that now there was something
right.
that when you would pay with American dollars, you would
Right.
end up with change back.
Really? Oh wow.
Yes. That exactly. That's
Okay.
basically what I'm saying, Debbie.
Okay.
That is a very good point. And see, that's why we need Mama D on here. She
We
comes up.
do.
We're Debbie, Mama D. You're going to be on the show next week. We're going to
Mm,
bring you back here on a Thursday night.
mm, definitely.
We haven't had you on in a few days. We got to get you back on. All right. Well, I do need to get dinner, Mike.
Sure.
Um,
Sure. No problem.
because we've actually been going an hour and 18.
Of
Because I
course.
will tell you this, guys.
Hmm.
If I know there's some people live streaming,
Yes.
but I will tell you that I do love Corey Meets World. And if you love Yeehaw Bob, he's going to be at Port Orleans at 7:30.
Mm,
If you
nice.
Yeehaw Bob goes on at 8. So
Wonderful.
if you do love Yeehaw Bob, make sure confirm with me. Let me know over the weekend, Debbie, if you want to do it, and we'll get you on. We'll bring you on next Thursday with me,
Yeah.
and hopefully Mike, if he can be here. I don't know.
You're always welcome on here, Debbie. Anytime you want to come on, just
But that
ask.
is the weekend of Father's Day, so I don't know if he'll be available for Thursday night.
Oh, I will not be available tomorrow. I mean on the Saturday. Sorry, wrong day. I will not
Oh,
be
wait a minute.
available.
Father's Day is this weekend.
Huh?
We're talking next Thursday. Are you going to be available next Thursday, Mike?
Which is
That's after Father's Day. Father's Day is this weekend.
right I know. Let me think. 13 at 7. That's the 20th.
That's the 20th.
Let me double check my calendar real quick. Let me see.
Okay, yeah. So we'll bring you on.
I will not be available next week, unfortunately.
Okay, well then, Debbie, you're more than welcome to join me next week, and we will have a city. We will have a city to travel to, and unfortunately, I'm thinking it may end up being Mike's going to get mad because it probably will be Anaheim.
What is it? Is it Disneyland?
I said Anaheim. You tell me.
Well, that's nice.
Anaheim. You tell me, buddy.
I've always wanted to go there anyway.
Sounds but you won't be here to discuss the other part of it, which will include
Disneyland. Yeah, I want to go to Disneyland anyway.
I do. That is one of the big things I do because
I
last
want to
time
go
I
there
was there,
without
I
being nuts.
was but a baby.
You know, I really want to go to Disneyland because I've always wanted to see it. I want to do stuff. I want to buy stuff. And I might get some more spirituals while I'm at it.
Anyway, okay, guys. Yes, I'm gonna. I need to round it up.
Yes.
I don't know if I don't know if there'll be any surprise streams this weekend because we did 2 last week.
Yeah, because I'm not available this weekend at all.
Yes, because it's Father's Day weekend, and unfortunately, I do know for me, it's going to be a rough weekend. So, with that, any final thoughts, Mike?
I will say this: go on the vacations to have fun and be safe.
And make sure that all I can say is, I am. My name is Dave Cantrell. I am the agent and owner of the Cantrell Country Travelway. If you are looking to travel, let me help you guys plan your next vacation. Or if you know what type of vacation you want, let me help you with the bookings to make sure we get what you want and make it that magical vacation. With that, guys, as my as my slogan says, let the Cantrell Country Travelway help you find that magical vacation. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.